So, The Marvels is now on Disney Plus, and I think that it is time to talk about the end credits. There are two of them. One of them I want to focus on specifically, like the last one. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, waiting for people to watch the movie. It was actually a good movie, despite what a lot of the blog posts and stuff say. Blog post headings made it seem like this movie was trash, but if you actually talk to people who saw this movie, they gave it good reviews. I personally enjoyed it. I think this is one that I can watch multiple times, unlike a lot of the movies that Marvel has come out with recently. I can rewatch the Marvels. I feel like it was a fun movie, and I don't really get what all the hate was about. What about you, John?
Man, we know what the hate was about. I ain't even gonna beat around the bush. Like, come on, man. I feel like it's whack to judge that movie based on like people's personal perspective. Like, as just cinematography goes, like it wasn't a bad movie at all. It's not like a top 10 Marvel movie or nothing like that, but it's a good movie for the character because don't nobody like Captain Marvel anyway. Like she's written kind of bland in the comics.
Well,
She
dang.
is. She is like, and like a lot of comic book readers don't like her in the comics, like for real. So like the fact that people kind of don't like the casting, they kind of don't like Brie Larson or whatever. You know,
What did she
it kind of
do?
fits. She said something about like what was that movie she was in with Oprah? It's a movie she in with Oprah and some other people. I think it's some Disney shit. I can't think of the name of it, but like, it had like critics like bashing it. And she was like, she don't think that like, white male critics got like, significant, takes.
Okay. I remember when she said,
Yeah,
"Now
yeah. So they've been hating her since then. Like,
because she pushed back against white male patriarchy. She ain't say nothing wrong."
and she wasn't wrong. She could have been a little more eloquent with it. I mean, she could have stated it without bashing. She did kind of like give them her ass to kiss the way she said it. So I understand, but I don't judge the movie based on like my political perspectives or whatever. It was a pretty good movie. As a comic book reader, it was a comic book style movie. I mean, it felt like a comic book adaptation. It was absurd. I mean, it was a stupid ass movie. It had some crazy shit in it, like with the freaking cats, flurgans, whatever they call, and then being able to like eat people
I
and then using them to
actually
transport people. Like
I thought it
that
was
shit was
fun
wild.
too with adding Miss Marvel uh and Captain Rambo in the movie. Tiana Paris, I loved her in this movie. I actually think she brought a lot to the movie. I like that Nick Fury was in this movie. He was actually fun because he's had to do a lot of dark, serious roles lately
Yeah,
within his character because
he's
of the nature of
always.
what's happening. So I think this was a fun movie all the way
It's
around.
weird with him and Captain Marvel because in the two movies we've seen them interact together, he's always been more lighthearted with her. Like
Mm,
he's very personable with her compared to like the other Avengers or whatever.
right. And so
Probably because he met her first, I guess.
I
He knew her
enjoyed
for 20 years before he met them.
it. True, true. So yeah, his rapport is different. Like she knew him before he was, the Nick Fury. So
Yeah, he was just an agent.
I thought it was a fun movie. Like if I would have seen this like growing up, it probably would have been one of my favorites simply because the cast was diverse. It wasn't like no horrible like stereotypes in it. There wasn't no damsel in distress story. It wasn't we got to chase this guy or we're fighting over this guy or there's this beauty contest. It wasn't no mean girl vibes. It was like none of that. The movie was literally a fun movie. And so I'm like, if you don't like this movie, then do you not like fun? Do
I mean,
you not
eh,
like?
But like
laughing.
some of the pushback is that they want Marvel to get more serious, and I understand that.
I don't,
But
I mean, I see they want them to maybe a little more serious, but Marvel has always been, they've always had a lighthearted touch. And then
yeah,
see, that's
because
the thing. If they get too serious, then they're going to run into the same issues that DC has because
I
their
mean
movies were
the
very
stories are
serious.
crazy. The stories are crazy anyway. You can't take yourself too seriously when you're talking about wormholes in space as like the backdrop of your entire story. So like yeah, I understand, man. It's just I understand the pushback too, because comic book fans are kind of edgy. We like our Blades and our Punishers and our Daredevils. We like,
No, y'all didn't because see, because DC uh universe, their movies was more serious and y'all wasn't trying to watch it. Like
that's
that.
because they suck. Just because you're serious, the seriousness didn't make it suck. The freaking writing made it suck. Like they was rushing everything and trying to catch up to Marvel. They should have laid they plan out, did a bunch of solo movies. How you gonna do Batman versus Superman as your second movie, man?
The
Like,
only I only watch that to I only get to the end of that movie when Batman and Superman are actually fighting. I skip all the rest of it and then go
yeah, it's the
straight to the
only
fight
good part.
scenes. Like I don't even know how they ended. That's the thing. I don't even know how they ended up fighting because I always get to the part where they're fighting. I'm like, I don't even know what y'all were
Man,
doing.
it doesn't make any sense for them to fight like that. But they wasted that story because the story was significant because it was two friends with 20 plus years of friendship fighting. Like that's what made that story big. But in the movie, it was just two niggas that met. It's like two dudes that like, oh, yeah, they didn't know each other. Like
The
there
thing
was
is,
no
Batman is
rapport.
my favorite superhero, and I didn't even like him in that movie. I was just like, why is he so? And I like a serious Batman, but I'm like you taking it too far. Like I don't understand. Why are we?
Why are you
So,
killing people?
it's like
Yeah,
like we was doing too much. See, but that's like when it get too serious, people are not. It takes away from the fun aspect of it. I mean, I like because I'm a fan of the whole Dark Knight franchise, so I like a good, intimate, really dark tale. But when I feel like it's too poised and stoic, and we're getting away from the fact of most comic book readers were children, and that sometimes it got to be a little something
damn,
entertaining in it.
you just stabbed a bunch of comic book readers in the back just did.
I mean, these started as stuff for kids. I mean, as adult, because people have grown up with them, we grew up with this stuff. And it just
Yeah,
stuck with us. And so when you forget that that's where it all started, like we know we're trying to tell this serious story, but people went to the comic books because they're still fun at the same time.
nah, I dig it. The movie did have that fun factor.
And
I fucked with that.
I think the serious part of it came towards the end at the Marvels when Captain Rambo got, sucked into that a black hole, or or ended up on the opposite side of the universe somehow, or went through a hole in the universe,
Yeah,
however that happened. Then it kind of the tone of it changed in the movie, and I thought that that was good pacing for at least for me. So I feel like that element was still there, but they introduced it at the right time.
yeah. I wonder like her mom's doppelganger. I wonder what character that is. Photon or something.
No, it is actually okay. So before we get into that, because we're gonna spoil that part. So So the Marvels, for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, is Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, who had her own Disney Plus series, the teenager, and then Captain Rambo, who we met in WandaVision. They all somehow
Yeah,
get together because their powers are like in the same realm, but they manifest them differently. So like same type of powers,
yeah.
they just
Supposedly
yeah do different things with them.
they're light based powers.
And so they needed all their powers together because there was one of the from Captain Marvel, one of the alien races, they still got a little animosity towards her.
The Kree.
Yes. And so
They
they
usually blue.
they had it out for her. Um Darbin, who was the leader of the Kree, side note, if you guys didn't know, she is actually, I'm not sure if they're married or if they're just in a relationship, but she is in a relationship with the guy who plays Loki in real life.
Tom Hiddleston.
Yes.
He would.
Just to throw that out. I know, make you like Loki a little bit more now, don't it?
Does it?
It did for me. I was like, see, I knew I liked him.
You're hilarious.
I was like, see, I knew I liked him. But yes, so Darbin has this issue with Captain Marvel because she inadvertently calls their planet to struggle. So she's trying to reverse it and ends up with one of the bands that is identical to the one that Miss Marvel has. And Darbin ends up somehow creating a hole in space. And so the
That's
Team
what the
Marvel,
bands are for.
yeah,
The bands were for like travel.
yeah, and I think you have to have both of them to do that.
Yeah,
Or
she was like subverting it by using that the Power Stone was in that hammer, Ronan's hammer thing she was
mm,
using. It had the like remnants of the Power Stone still in it from
and
Guardians of the
yeah,
Galaxy.
and see, it was too powerful for her even, and they was trying to tell her like you can't be, trying to do all this, and she didn't listen. So she did not survive trying to create holes in time and space, which left Captain Card, not Captain Card, Captain Rambo,
Captain Carter.
who's somewhere with Steve, if she's even still alive. Captain Rambo to try to fix it. And they say, okay, why did the black girl have to fix it? Well, she's the one that actually worked at NASA. She's the one who was actually an astronaut or something.
Who who
She
said why the black girl got a fix?
because they always be trying to say that's the trope. Why does the black person have to sacrifice their life for everybody else? Why does it have to be? Why do we have to be the magical Negro, the sacrificial Negro? Why couldn't it have been somebody else? Well, it fit in her situation because she worked at what is it called?
Shield, meant sword.
Sword. Yes. So she knew more about space travel and the universe and astrophysics and all that kind of stuff. So she's like, I have to be the one to do it. So in the process of her fixing this hole in space, she ends up on the opposite side. So she seemingly wakes up and she thinks that she's home, but she's in a parallel universe to, you know, to our Earth. What is it? 626 or something like that?
616.
616. She's now on the opposite side of that.
Even though that's a lie, because the comic books are 616.
See,
How can the comic books be 616 and the movies are 616?
well, see, this is now where I guess where that gets tricky. So as she's waking up, she sees what she thinks is her mom. It's a variant of her mom, and also a variant of because if you guys have watched Doctor Strange, Multiverse of
Yeah,
Madness, we
she was
saw,
Captain Marvel.
yep, we seen Captain Rambo as Captain Marvel, but of course Wanda like slaughtered everybody. So we knew that
Yeah,
couldn't be her.
somehow.
It's like, well, no, so it's not that variant, but who she is actually, in my mind, I think of it as like, how Pokemon evolve. Like you got Pikachu and then
Oh my
Raichu.
God. Uh-huh.
Her mom is like an evolved version of Captain Marvel binary. So if you follow Captain Marvel, after she goes through all these different trials, tribulations, uh, power sources and all this kind of stuff. She eventually evolves from Captain Marvel to Binary. And so that is now Captain Rambo's the variant of her mom. She is now her. And if you paid attention, she has on two bracelets that look like Kamala's. She
I
has,
didn't see that.
yep, she has on two bands that look like the ones that Miss Marvel have on.
That's
And
wild.
and then we get this little special tidbit. We see the original actor who played the Beast in the original X-Men movies. And
Yeah,
so,
Kelsey Grammer.
and we've been hoping for years that the MCU will bring over the X-Men. And they've already, brought over Professor X, and now we have this with the Beast. But now we see that there's a parallel universe which could like open up the gates for this version of X-Men to cross over into the MCU. Like that might be the gateway so that we can have the X-Men. Me personally, especially with all the stuff going on with Kang, I don't, I don't even care about the story no more. Let's just focus on the X-Men. That's just my spiel because I don't even care no more. I don't even want to
I
know
feel
what's
you.
supposed to happen. And that with the whole dynasty, and then they saying, oh, maybe we'll drop that and we'll go to Doctor Doom, or maybe we write crap. You know what? I don't even care about either one. I don't care about none of that. Y'all done tease me with X-Men, and then y'all gonna tease us again with this Deadpool movie and Wolverine. I want to just focus on mutants because that's my favorite Marvel anyway.
Yeah,
That's X-Men
that's
has
the
always
only
been
part of
my favorite.
Marvel. That's the only part of Marvel I actually read. Like I don't read the Avengers shit. It's like the MCU is the only thing that's been giving me good adaptations. So like, I've been depending on Fox to give me good X-Men. It's been trash. Like I hate Fox. I hate the Fox man.
Okay,
But
well, hopefully
let's see.
this is the way. Um, this that I'm hoping this is. I would rather the story steer in that direction, but we
I mean,
also
they
have.
gonna bring them in because that's their biggest property. Like
I
next
mean,
to
we need to do it
Spider-Man,
now.
X-Men is their biggest property.
We need just abandon
They
that whole Doctor Doom, Kang. If we, you know
they
what?
they're not gonna abandon Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is like the villain in Marvel.
Okay, so if they
He
do
is
now,
top
if
tier
we
villain
doing
in
Doctor
Marvel.
Doom, the other end credit focused on the Young Avengers. We
Yeah,
seen Kamala going to recruit
Kate Bishop.
yes, and she was in Hawkeye. And she
Yes,
also mentioned that Ant-Man had a daughter. So that shows you she's about to go around recruiting all the young Avengers. So who have we seen so far?
we
Besides
saw
Bishop, Kamala, Ant-Man's daughter.
we
Who else do
saw
we have?
Scarlet Witch's kids.
Yep, we've seen the twins. Now people are battling, are they, what are we gonna do with them? Because are they still a figment of her imagination, or where is
I
that?
mean, they exist in other universes. Oh yeah, also America Chavez, the
That's the
girl
one I
from
could the one
yeah.
from Doctor Strange Part Two. I couldn't think of her name, but yes, we've met her. Let's see, we've got Ironheart.
hmm And
We
he's not a kid. He's he's probably in a similar age range as Ironheart. But you remember on the Winter Soldier and the Falcon and Winter Soldier show, the Hispanic guy? He was an Hispanic military dude who worked with
mm-hmm,
Falcon.
mm-hmm,
Falcon gave him his wings. I
mm-hmm.
forgot his name. He takes on the Falcon mantle in the comic books. I forgot
Yeah.
his freaking name though.
Now I heard people saying that they might use who was the other soldier that had the serum, the older black guy.
Oh, you're talking about? I know you're talking about his nephew.
His yes, they're thinking that, he probably could be recruited as well.
Yeah,
That's
but
a
what the
possibility.
hell? He got no powers.
Marvel will spend some stuff. But was it his nephew or was it his grandson?
I thought it was his
They're thinking
nephew.
somehow maybe
It might
somehow
be his grandson.
it could be
If it's his
that,
grandson, he might have passed down.
yeah, that some of the, super serum may have passed to him. So we have
Man,
that.
When Marvel started doing those series, they opened the game wide open. Like I feel like they just dropping the ball. I mean, I want X-Men too, but there's so many stories I could tell. Like we could get the old school Ant-Man, Hank Pym Ant-Man from like the 60s and 70s and see some of the shit they did. Lawrence Fishburne played Goliath. He was a 60s and 70s hero too. He was in the second Ant-Man movie.
Hmm.
Like you had the Black Captain America dude was operating during that time. They got Vietnam era heroes. And like we only got stories from them. We never seen what they did.
Yeah, I see you. Like if they do like with time traveling, but see, I think maybe they could do something like that with the what ifs as well.
The Fan Four is supposed to be a period piece.
Mm.
Fantastic Four is supposed to be in a different time period.
So you saying they have material? I would like to see them.
Blade too. Blade's supposed to be like in the 1920s.
I heard that they was gonna take it back for Blade. I don't care. I'm just gonna go see Blade with however y'all gonna do it. I'm just ready to go and see Blade and have this movie done because it's been a long time coming. But hopefully that just means
Man.
that as long as it took that, at this point, it need to be one of the best things ever coming out of
Yeah, it's
Marvel
supposed to be
since
rated
the
R, I
original.
think. I think it's supposed to be rated R too.
Yes,
They
it
need to go
is.
ahead and do that for all the ones that's like edgy like that. Just rated all them shits. Like, I understand they be trying to get the kids tickets, but kids gonna go watch it anyway.
First of all, they don't know Blade like we do. First of all, this is not for the Gen Zers. Blade is specifically for millennials because this is what we've been requesting. It ain't for them anyway. So I don't, they could keep the ratings up. This one is not for y'all. This one is for us.
Yeah, people gonna go see Blade because they niggas gonna go see Blade.
Speaking of niggas, this movie was directed, The Marvels, by Nia
Whoa,
DaCosta.
wait.
So while we're in Black History Month, maybe that could have been another reason people did not like The Marvels is because it was directed by a Black woman who also directed the um, latest version of, and I'm only saying his name once, the latest version of Candyman. She also directed that, I believe. Y'all only gonna get me to say that once today, if that. Actually, we're gonna get that once every quarter. I don't trust it. But she
Wow.
she directed that movie and the so it could have been they didn't even like the director. So once they find out a Marvel movie is being directed by a Black woman, with a cast, a diverse cast of women, a women-led movie, people, it when certain people are just used to seeing all their superheroes be white men, that triggers something in them, and they want to spread their bias to everybody else. Mm-mm.
I feel like people don't really mind seeing women. They just want to see women how they want to see women. They don't want to see women the way women want to be seen. You know what I'm saying? Like they want like if Captain Marvel had like C cups and a fat ass, nobody would have said nothing. You know what
You
I'm
know
saying?
what? I
Like
felt that way about how a lot of people treated Shuri because Shuri is not Instagram model. Shuri is not Lotto, Nicki
she's not,
Minaj,
but
Megan Thee Stallion.
she ain't sure from the comments either because she was thick as hell at the
Well, the Shuri y'all got is a brown skinned Black woman with short hair and no BBL, and y'all be mad because that's what y'all get. Okay, if this was in the 90s, y'all wouldn't be complaining because that's how Black women was looking in the 90s on TV. Y'all went complaining when Brandy, Monica, Aaliyah, TLC when they look like that. But all of a sudden now that everybody has face fillers and lip injections and BBLs and
I'm gonna be
when
real with you.
and when
Back
y'all
then,
don't
I
see
was
that
looking at
anymore,
damn. I was looking at Pam from Martin back then because she was thick as hell.
See, this is the problem. And then see y'all get on these interwebs and be mad when the black women don't look like that, when they don't look like the Instagram models. Then y'all don't want to see it. She ain't here for y'all to be seeing. She's trying to fight crime like everybody else. Which also we have Shuri, who might could be a part of the Young Avengers, being that she has relinquished her um her abilities to like run
Her
Wakanda.
queen head.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to do it,
But
you know.
she's just like how T'Challa was in the beginning, because T'Chaka was still king and T'Challa was Black Panther.
hmm So she's like, I would rather be in this role for right now. So she also could, be part of the Young Avengers. And maybe that maybe somehow will play into Doctor Doom. We still got these the scrolls out here
Yeah, Skrull kids.
and that
They
whole and I mean, is that ever, are we going to somehow get back into that story? You know what? Speaking of, I don't even know what the premise of the new Falcon movie, Captain America movie. I don't even know what the premise is going to be
you know,
for
you
that.
know, you remember the movie Eternals?
Mm-hmm.
So like that thing in the ocean, that big thing that's about to come out of the planet and kill everybody.
Oh my
At the
goodness.
end, they stopped it. Like
So,
it's a celestial, like it's in the ocean, right? It's been in the ocean ever since that movie. Nobody talked about it since.
because I'm wondering, like, not saying Eternals was a bad movie, but I'm like, where is it connecting? Because I ain't seen nothing like that. Y'all
But
threw the
they
Eternals
they
out there, and
supposed
we
to
ain't even
be
heard back from them.
they supposed to be connected to the new Captain America. So like they got Thunderbolts coming out, which is kind of like the Suicide Squad in Marvel. So
Mm-hmm.
they're mostly villains, but they call Thunderbolts, so they're part of Thunderbolt Ross's team. Thunderbolt Ross is the guy who was hunting the Incredible Hulk in the Hulk movies.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the Avengers movie. He gave them the Accords
Mm-hmm.
for Civil War. That guy. He ended up
Oh,
dying. William
speaking
Hurt
of speaking
saved
of
him.
Hulk, didn't Hulk have a son and She-Hulk?
Yeah, Scar or something like that.
Another young Avenger.
Probably if they don't kill him. But
You can't kill a Hulk.
I'm saying how we gonna have world. Well, see, I'm thinking they gonna do World War Hulk, where like Hulk go crazy and he attack like all the heroes because he blames them for killing his family. Like that's how it happens in the comic.
Mm.
But then he was on a different planet when it happened. He came all the way back to Earth to kick everybody's ass.
Well, see, that would have been old Hulk because right now he's all, zenned out and grounded and
Yeah,
whatnot.
right now you don't know what'll happen if his son dies
Well,
because
yeah,
Rage powers the Hulk. If he gets as mad as he's ever been before.
true. Well, if he starts, we have, well, Spider-Man is still here, even though nobody knows him anymore. You know what?
Man,
Speaking of Spider-Man, they're saying that being that now he's more like a low-level hero,
yeah,
would he not connect to maybe Daredevil stories since they're bringing back the Daredevil?
yeah, most likely they're gonna
He,
probably do the Spider-Man, Daredevil, Kingpin connection.
I think that he could somehow be a part of that world. I would really love to see them bring the Punisher and Luke Cage back.
Yeah, but they can keep Iron Fist.
You see, I left him out. I left him out for a reason. I left him out. I say Daredevil, Luke Cage, and the
I mean, we
Punisher.
already got Shang-Chi. We don't need two kung fu dudes on the team.
And yet, where's him and his rings? I mean, are we gonna be part of the Young Avengers or
I don't know. At the end of his movie, he met up with Wong.
mm-hmm.
So, they working on something. They cooking something, man. We just gotta let them cook. Let them cook.
I suppose. I suppose. Uh
Yeah.
we'll see. I'm hanging in there for the for Marvel. I'm in it
Hey,
for the long haul. So
my idea with Marvel though, and like they should have been hit me up for this. And I'd have charged them half price. they legit though. With the X-Men should have always existed because they have Professor X. If anybody can hide the existence of mutants on Earth, it's that dude. Like he can wipe anybody's mind. They could have been like the Men in Black, but for mutants instead of aliens. So like if a kid has mutant powers and his powers manifest when he's a teenager and they're destructive and he accidentally kills somebody or blows some shit up, the X-Men should show up, erase everybody's mind, and recruit the kid. Like that's how they should have been operating the whole time, like throughout the history of Marvel. Like so while Iron Man was going on, the X-Men already existed. They could have just did that instead of this freaking multiverse shit. That's all it would have been is Men in Black, but for mutants. Mutants in black.
I'm following you, but I'm not at the same time. Like
I'm just saying.
I see where we're at.
I'm just saying. Professor X is a walking neuralizer. You know what I'm saying? He could just erase your memory and make up anything. So, like,
I
if you had a kid and your kid was a mutant and your mutant kid blew up a house and the X-Men came and got them, he would just erase everybody's memory and write it like you never had a kid before. So, who would know? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I see where this is going, but I'm like, this is very unethical.
Do you know that Professor X is very unethical?
This is highly unethical. I'm with you, but this is very unethical.
Man, I'm telling you, Professor X is a professor. They act like he MLK, but really he a little Malcolm X. He a little bit. He a little Malcolm X. By any means necessary. I tell you, for real, for real.
You know what? Y'all give us your thoughts on this theory of introducing the X-Men into the MCU. Give us your theory because as at the end of Captain Marvel, look, the floor is open now. So we don't know what they're gonna do. We don't know
I can
how they're
tell
gonna
the
use
Avengers
them.
ass, the floor is open.
We don't know what's gonna happen at this point.
Oh man.
We don't know.
After Jonathan Majors, we don't know what's gonna happen. They need to recast Kane though. Stop tripping.
I don't know
'Cause
what's gonna happen. We're just here. At this point, we all might as well pitch a theory about what should happen. You know what? If Marvel say we're looking for new writers, just let us know because we just the door's open, the floor is open.
they better not use my idea of mutants in black. Tell, tell you that.
We're gonna put a pin in that until we get a code of ethics to see if that to see if that's actually logical to do, if that has any detriment to, the development
Uh,
and integrity
they just kept it moving,
of the
man.
children. So,
They just kept it moving.
we're gonna put a pin in that one. Glad you work in the field of, science and not therapy. Uh, but yeah, y'all let us know. Did y'all like the Marvels? Who was your favorite out of the Marvel? Who stood out in the movie? Were you one of the ones who hated it and said it was trash? How do you think this movie fits in the long spectrum of the movie? Do you think that we could have skipped the movie and went straight to the end credits? Like what does this movie mean moving forward? What does it mean moving forward? I know at the end of the movie because see, I didn't allow any spoilers. I didn't check any posts. I didn't do anything. So when I was able to sit and watch it, I was excited when I saw the end credits. So you guys let us know how you feel. All month long, we are celebrating Black nerd culture, and we had to throw this out, a superhero movie with a diverse cast, directed by a Black woman. Hey, We're here for it. I'm here for movies like this. And we have to support movies like this so they'll make more of them. If we bash and trash movies like this, then we won't get anything better. We won't get anything more. They'll just shut it down. So we got to support it on some level so that we can keep going and moving up so that, we can get us a very good version of Blade eventually on the rise. We're going to be here for it. I'm going to do a live review outside the theater when that one drops.
Yeah, yeah, and an actual Black Storm for a change, who's all the way black.
You know what? That's sweet. We're
You
going to
have a Black Storm, you realize that, right? Like Halle Berry she's not all black. Who's that other girl that plays Storm in the?
Alexandra Ship, or I think that's what her name is.
Yeah, she ain't all black either. We
You,
yet to have a Black Storm.
that,
Like the blackest fucking character there is. We get to have a Black Storm.
that's why we hit the reset button now with this parallel. We're gonna hit the reset button and we're gonna see what they're gonna do with these
You
X-Men.
know the MCU gonna get a Black Storm.
They
She
better
gonna be
not
black as hell.
they good. They better not play with me. And see, they have a chance to have her starting off as a small child because see, we got itty bitty T'Challa. That way we got a
Oh my god.
chance. Okay. We got little T'Challa. I need a little Storm. So that when they grow up, we get what we've been asking for. It's
T'Challa Jr. and Storm.
we can get it.
Recast T'Challa.
They are.
Recast Kane.
They are. We've seen him. We know he's gonna with the multiverse, they could probably grow with the multiverse, they will probably grow T'Challa up in 5 years.
Oh my god.
He will be grown soon enough. We were
Of
like, I thought
course
he
they
was 7
will.
when we seen him. Why is he
He
21?
was a little kid. He's a tiny kid. Of course they're gonna they're gonna time skip his ass.
Exactly. So they're gonna time skip him. Let's get this new storm and let's get this union that we've been looking forward to. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's how they're gonna do it.
Yeah, Storm need her own movie or some shit too though.
But see, we gotta support stuff like the Marvels, or they're gonna be like black people don't want to watch black movies, like superheroes.
Mm-hmm. You gotta get the women out, man.
So we have, if we want to see something like that, we got to show them we're gonna support it. So that's what we're doing. Like I said, I enjoyed the movie. Tiana Paris was great in this movie. I enjoyed it. I loved her hair. Come on,
I don't know
y'all.
anything about that, but
Come on. I'm just talking to y'all. Did y'all see her hair in the movie? Y'all know sometimes they be doing us wrong on these in these movie sets with these wigs. Y'all see how Tyler Perry be having his actresses look. Tiana Paris hair was curly, it was thick, her hair was laid. I was here for it. That's the look. That's what I'm talking about.
yeah,
The
she is
the
the
director,
best. See you though.
see
She
that's when you have a black director, a good one.
you're hilarious.
I'm just saying, I had to point that out. But y'all let us know. I want to know how y'all felt about the Marvels and what does this mean for the MCU and what does this do with Black nerd culture moving forward? Let us know in the comments at all times. When you click on the video, I need you to have been subscribed.
It's not a threat.